Starting over, that magical blend of terror and potential. Whether it's a new job, new city, or just the 7th time you've promised to get your life together on Monday, starting over is where transformation actually happens. Because the truth is, your fresh start isn't a step backwards. It's a spiritual, emotional, and psychological glow-up. Today, we are diving into the surprising power of starting over. Why it works, what science says, what philosophy whispers, and how to do it without a mental breakdown, or 12. What's one thing in your life you would hit the reset button on if you knew it would work out? Comment below. The psychology of a fresh start. Let's start with what science says, because apparently, your brain loves a good reboot. Psychologists call it the fresh start effect. It's the reason you suddenly feel motivated every January 1st, or every Monday morning before you ruin it with emails. Basically, when time gives you a temporal landmark, like a new week, month of phase of life, your brain says, "Ah yes, new season, new me." It creates a psychological distance from your past self. You know, the one who procrastinated, ate cereal for dinner, and promised to start meditating someday. A fresh start gives you a mental clean slate. So, instead of dragging your failures into the present, you can actually focus forward. It also triggers renewed motivation. That post-reset energy that makes you say things like, "This time I'm serious." Spoiler, sometimes we actually mean it. And when you start seeing small wins, that builds self-efficacy, the belief that you can actually do hard things. So no, you are not being dramatic when you decide you need a fresh start. You're being neurologically efficient. Turns out New Year, New Me isn't just an Instagram caption. It's neuroscience with better lighting. The philosophy of change. Philosophers have been talking about starting over since, well, forever. Heraclitus, ancient Greek thinker aka professional overthinker, famously said, "You cannot step into the same river twice." Translation: change is constant and life is basically a moving target. Every moment, you are a slightly new version of yourself. So technically, you've already started over thousands of times. You just didn't post about it. In Zen Buddhism, the fear of starting over comes from attachment, whether to your old job, your old success, your old identity. But here's the secret. Letting go creates space, like cleaning out your closet, but for your soul. And the Stoics, they'd say, you can't change the past, but you can change your reaction right now. The past is your classroom, not your prison. So instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Try asking, what's this teaching me now? Think of life as a software update, annoying, necessary, and always taking longer than expected. But afterwards, things usually run smoother. Real people, real resets. Let's talk about some reset royalty. Vera Wang, failed figure skater turned wedding gown legend, at 40. Colonel Sanders, tried a dozen jobs before turning fried chicken into an empire, at 62. J.K. Rowling, rejected by publishers, broke, single mom, and then wrote Harry Potter. Oprah, overcame poverty, trauma, and every rejection imaginable to become, well, Oprah. These people didn't just start over, they pivoted with purpose. Proof that reinvention has no age limit and no expiration date. If Colonel Sanders can start a chicken empire in his 60s, you can probably send that email you've been avoiding since last week. Overcoming the fear of starting over. Okay, real talk. Starting over can be terrifying. It's like jumping into a cold pool. Your brain screams, nope, but 5 minutes later you're swimming. First, acknowledge your feelings. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means you care about the outcome. Then, set small goals. You don't need to rebuild Rome in a week, maybe just clean out your inbox. Rewrite your story. You didn't fail. You learned data points for version 2.0. And, finally, trust the process. Growth doesn't come with a tracking number. Sometimes the reset you didn't want becomes the breakthrough you needed. Starting over isn't weakness, it's wisdom in motion. You're not erasing your past, you're evolving from it. Because every ending is really just a once upon a time in disguise. So here's your sign. Begin again. If you have ever had to start over, or you're in the middle of your own plot twist, drop some love in the comments and share, and remember, sometimes the reset is the reward. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.